Greetings. Hello, everyone. It's me, Rachel. And here we are live in Facebook land. And I'll probably post this on YouTube as well because this is a beautiful topic. And it was inspired by some work I did with a client this week around the theme of receiving. And so the question that we're exploring today on Heart Wisdom Wednesday here is, why do I feel resistance to receiving the good that is coming my way, the good that is happening in my life? Why does that happen? So you might, on first glance, see that and say, well, of course I don't have resistance around receiving good. Bring it on. Let's have that. But then maybe you are experiencing that resistance in a big way and you're wondering, why? Why would I possibly want to not receive the good things that are happening in my life? And I invite us to look at this in a different way and say, well, maybe it's not that you are resistant to the good per se, or that you don't want it to happen, because of course this is what you've been asking for. This is what you're praying for, the good things to happen in your life that you invite in, that you work so hard to create, that you've gone through so much to heal in order to have happen in your life. And so it can feel frustrating when good things start to happen and maybe you start to feel suspicious about these things, or maybe a part of you says, well, if what does this mean about me that these things are happening? Or maybe there's another take on this that says, I don't deserve these things because of all the things I've done, or I don't deserve these things because, well, maybe you don't know why you think that, and maybe you think that because of the trauma that's happened to you in your life, the messages that you received about what it means to have good things happen. Or maybe there's a belief system. Gosh, this is the fourth thing I'm offering up here. A belief system that says, I'm being greedy or needy, or I'm not being grateful for what I already have. So there's a lot to this, right? And you may resonate with any one of these things I'm saying. I know one of you said something to the effect when I posted about this yesterday in the group, the Divine Feminine Transformations Facebook group, that it was something to the effect of being afraid of your own light. Wow. Like, oh, maybe it feels uncomfortable to show up for the good things. Maybe it means now you're being challenged to really show up for yourself. What does it mean? Let's go back. Let's go back. What does it mean to receive? You know, what does it mean to receive? And I'm going somewhere with this. This is about emotions. I'm going to this place where I want us to explore the possibility that the resistance is not necessarily specifically to the good, but that when you start to feel excited, when you start to see good things happen, that it can actually be a triggering event. Like, oh, when's the other shoe going to drop? Or, oh, I'm not allowed to feel this. Or maybe even there's been some armoring that has been going on from the trauma. And the armoring is the defense that we put up for survival that happens when we've been hurt. And so when there is hurt, the system wants to shield itself. The ego part of us wants to protect and shield from feeling that hurt again. This is a survival, almost instinctual thing. At first it is instinctual. After a while, when you gain a little more awareness about this thing that happens instinctually, you can start to kind of separate yourself from it a little more and have a little more perspective and insight and see it coming and recognize it and sit with it, have compassion for it, and then make a different choice. But for the beginning part of things, after there's been trauma, after there's been hurt, after there's been emotional upheaval, the pain of that hurt says, we say, okay, well, I don't ever want to feel this. I don't want to feel this anymore. And when we cut ourselves off from our emotions, we cut ourselves off from all of it. It isn't, once the shield goes up, once the block and the wall around the heart starts to get created to protect the heart, you're now actually shielding yourself and blocking yourself from feeling anything. This is about numbing so that we don't feel that intensity, so we can function. This is about, I need to function. I need to survive. So I need to shut this down so I can keep going, because otherwise I'll stay stuck here, and I don't want to stay stuck here. So I shut it down. And in that process, what also gets shut down is the ability to register the pleasant feelings as well, the healthy, good feelings. So it's complicated, right? And it's going to be different for each person. The nuances, the tendencies, the dots that we connect. It's not just a cut and dry picture here that says, well, it's all just that I've closed down my emotions, so I'm closing down the good feelings too. That absolutely can be part of it. So this idea of resistance to receiving, this might have some things to do with the trust factor. Can I trust what is coming in? Can I trust where it's coming from? Can I trust the motives? And so maybe a little bit of suspicion from the trauma, the suspicion of, uh-oh, can I risk it? Can I risk it? Isn't that an interesting way to think about it? It's a risk to receive the good. Wow, right? So these are just some thoughts on this topic that are coming through that really stood out for me this week as a big aha moment for myself in my work with my clients, and just also thinking about my own life in terms of what is that? What is it that is it also linked into the fear of the unknown? So here's the complexity of the question: why do I have resistance about receiving the good in my life? So maybe what appears to be good, we're worried that it's going to turn into something bad. Maybe what appears to be a shiny object, we're worried that it's just a shiny object. But the thing is, if we don't just let's say if we stay stuck and don't make any choice to receive, we don't take the risk, then we're still sort of hiding behind the armoring of protection to shield us, just in case. Now, I'm not saying that we shouldn't be discerning about the sources of the good things, let's say. But at a certain point in time, when things start getting better and your prayers start getting answered, there's an opportunity to say thank you. To give yourself permission to welcome it, to give yourself permission to be in gratitude for the goodness that's happening in your life, because you deserve it. And that is all I have to say about that today. So, thanks for tuning in. Remember, the heart is where it's at. And this is what healing is all about. The heart. Removing those walls around the heart so we can feel, even if it feels intense. There are so much more richness to experience in life when we do that. All right, my dears, I invite you to subscribe to my Substack newsletter. This is a blog. It is also a place where I am hosting my new podcast called the Somatic Healing Sessions. And this is going to be free for a while, probably in through next year, where I'll start to charge maybe $7 a month for a subscription fee if you're really digging the podcast and you're loving the meditations. Because what this will be is a bi-monthly, essentially a healing session audio where you can tune in and listen and be guided by me through a somatic healing process using energy healing, body awareness, breath work, and insight meditation. So I'll put that link below for you to subscribe to that. And with that, my dears, let's welcome in and say thank you to the universe for the good things that are happening in our lives. Thank you, thank you, thank you, universe. Thank you, Mother Earth. Thank you, community. Thank you, heart. Thank you, life itself. Thank you, spirit. So it is. Peace, blessings. I'll see you all soon. Have a beautiful rest of your week. Love you.